Hi, and thanks for tuning in to our live radio show. Moments of Clarity with Tiffany will begin in just a few moments. Please stay tuned. Kindly take this opportunity to share this show on your platforms because change can only come when we stand together as one, especially when it comes to ending the stigma on mental health.
You are not alone, and help is out there.
Kids have mental health issues, and we also need to learn coping skills.
Let's get started and let the show begin. See you soon.
Don't put yourself down, time for a change. Believe in yourself, time to rearrange. Be your best friend, bring hope to your day. Lose your critic, get out of your way. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I'm Tiffany Warner, licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today we're going to be talking about mental health and being able to spread and end the stigma on mental health, because change can only come when we stand together as one, and on all levels and platforms of how we can spread the word on ending the stigma. Before, I'm just going to informally introduce my guest, is a filmmaker, 6-time filmmaker, and is currently creating a film based on mental health. I'm going to put it in radio there.
And we're on.
Hey, welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And thank you for that, Ed. Today we're going to be talking about mental health with a movie director, film director, actor, and has been in several films, and now is directing and producing a mental health movie that I think is going to be groundbreaking on so many levels, because we need more visuals and more talk. A lot of people are starting to talk about mental health and ending the stigma, but not enough, and we can always improve more. Before I introduce my guest, I'd like to say hi to Ed. How are you, Ed?
Hey, happy Thursday to everybody.
Happy Thursday. How you doing?
Good. Hey, King B, how you doing?
King?
King?
We were having trouble with audio earlier.
I don't know
Hey, you got me now.
No, you got you now.
It's not a problem with audio. He's just...
No, I was gonna say King looks cold. But he's got to be cold because I can see your breath.
Yeah, and it
so
better
it gotta be.
Wait, it better not be smoke, King. Please don't make it smoke.
No, it's Chicago.
It's
Chicago. About, 30 degrees, something like that, 30, 20, something like that in Chicago.
Well, we got the air conditioner on here.
So yeah. We actually do. On some days, it's been kind of cool, like window worthy or window open. So, Ed, how late was I coming onto the radio?
It was like I realized I had a phone call that I was talking to him for a couple seconds there, and I forgot to push in the proper button so you could hear the station. So it was 5 seconds. No big deal.
It always interrupts me mid sentence when I'm doing the virtual. So for the listeners out there, we're virtually on youtube.com/MOCwithTiffany. Like basically Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. You can watch us live, LinkedIn Live at Tiffany Warner, and on both Twitter and Facebook at MOCwithTiffany. See us live virtually and join the conversation. And you can also call in during the show, ask questions, leave feedback at 866-826-1340. Once again, 866-826-1340. And of course, say hi to Ed when you do. And I'll be showing and repeating the phone number quite a bit throughout the show. But it's going to be an interesting show, Ed. And chime in whenever you want. And
you got it.
Thanks for being here. So my guest today has been really working hard to have a fundraiser to create a movie. And some of the movies I've seen are completely the opposite of what he's going for this time. Chicago Mafia, Roost off of Amazon Prime. It's streaming on Amazon Prime along with others. He has an IMDb, which also explains a lot, but he is producer of Raw Fusion TV, formerly show formerly on PBS, and Raw Fusion podcast, along with producing, directing, acting in several films. And welcome to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, King B.
Thank you very much. I was happy to be a part of this. I did actually witness your 600 episode, so got to shout out Dr. J for telling me about it and then linking us together. This is fun.
Yeah, Dr. Catherine Jackson actually did introduce us, and she's like, you two just have to meet. And she is right here actually on some of the comments, getting a lot of love from some of your friends. Dr. J is here. We've got just on YouTube alone, we got Jason from India. Jason from I Am Lions. Lots of love from India. Stacy McConnell on YouTube says hello. And we can go through quite a bit. Like, Joni Faulkner, hello from Facebook. And Kiana Dore, welcome. Oh, I just almost dropped the computer. Hi. Hi from YouTube. And anyway, we will get back to some of the love on that. But so King, tell us a little bit about you. And I want to get into some of your mental health. Why is this passionate? Not just because it needs to be spoken about, but because how it's affected you in your own life. And when you find a moment of clarity, don't forget, you hit a bell. So, we all have our stories of how we've accomplished and gotten to where we are today, but we've all had things that we've had to overcome. No one's had completely an easy life. And most of what we talk about on the show is how inspirational stories from exceptional guests, where we started from this and then this didn't stop us and nothing's going to stop us now, and we're persevering, and from victim to survivor role. How did it all start for you?
I mean, as in terms of the mental movie, I ended up losing someone who was very dear to me, and that sparked a 2-year depression. Actually, you think you're just grieving, you think everything's okay, and then about halfway into it, I started to realize that no, everything's not okay. So I started to work myself out of that. Now, the thing about it is that I feel like if I've gone through something like that, then other people have gone through it as well. So I decided to, and then also I was diagnosed with a heart condition, so that didn't help matters either. So, so then when I found myself climbing out of that situation, I decided that if I've gone through it, others probably have as well. And then why not use what I do to help further the cause and further the situation and get more understanding and a moment of clarity
Uh-huh.
uh,
This
to people, who may be going through something. So I thought I could help. Yeah.
Well, I mean, yeah, so losing someone, a sudden loss and things, that's grief and loss. And a lot of us grieve a lot of things, not only just losing someone very close to us, maybe, but losing a job, finding a different identity, losing a pet. Ed and I, we were talking about that too, grief and loss. There's a lot of things that when you care about something enough, it's hard to get through. And then you can develop not only grief but post-traumatic stress disorder and things of that nature, and build anxiety, fear of the unknown, fear of the what ifs, fear of commitment, fear of intimacy, because all of these what ifs, like, after getting so close to someone that you love and care about, or something that you really cherish, and then losing it, cause anxiety because you don't want to, the brain subliminally does not want to go through it again. And it can really stop us from living up to our own potential unless we take the time to work on ourselves, just like what you were saying, and pull out of it. And probably we're suffering with some situational depression as well. I've lost a lot of my family when I was young, and that's why I'm a mental health therapist. Lost my parents when I was young, and it took a lot of work to pull out of that too, and to find my moment of clarity. So it's like that. But as for with the mental health population, it's come a long way in the past 7 years, but we still have a lot of room to grow. And just from the show, at least, I know 7 years ago, people didn't want to come on and talk about their business and didn't want to say mental health anything because of the stigma, thinking that people
Yeah.
are going to judge or label them, thinking that they're weak because there's something wrong. When we
Yeah.
all have something, everyone has something. And the people that say they don't, they're either lying or in denial, or it's really serious and they don't want anyone to know. Um,
That's true. That's true.
mhm,
When we're on Clubhouse, I
mhm,
have a club Raw Fusion there.
mhm.
And one of the things that we do is create a safe space for people to be able to tell their truths and feel comfortable in saying what they're going through. Um, and we do that basically almost every day during the week, Monday through Thursday. And so one thing about it is that I can't be the curator of a space in which I feel like I can't share and then ask everybody else to share. That's
Right.
kind of hypocritical. And I know that being in a position of being a film director or a television host at one point, or an actor, it's probably more um, uh, it's probably more advantageous for me to keep the front and the facade that no, I've never gone through anything. But you know what? At this point, if it helps others, if it and heck, it helps myself sometimes
Mhm.
to be able to feel comfortable in saying, what I'm going through, and just be honest and transparent. And so, if it can help some other people, and if it can get them into a position where they feel like they can share as well, then I feel like I'm doing a good job this work.
Absolutely. You're not the first movie producer or actor that I've had on the show after through 7 years. One one actor, movie producer who's made a bunch of films that kind of like the one you're coming up to, like just films about things that people don't normally talk about. He starred in the movie Remember the Titans. That
Mm,
anyway, so I used to do pre-interviews, and he told me, we talked for 2 hours, and he told me all this backstory about these things that happened. And at the end of the pre-interview, he's like, "By the way, don't tell anybody this tomorrow when we're on the air." I'm like, "What am I supposed to say?" I just wrote down all these notes. Anyway,
mm,
so about being um, sexually abused, and then as a kid, and then on the show, he ends up feeling comfortable enough to share, and it has empowered his life. I call it a post show high. Like, He's empowered his life. He's changed his motto. Now he's all about talking about overcoming child abuse. He's not ashamed, and it's changed his whole life. And no one looks at him differently as a movie producer or an actor, or, you know, things like that. He does a really good Denzel Washington impersonation when he's like, "Never let them forget the night they played the Titans," or however it goes. But you know, but
I think the more that people come out and talk about it, the more it's going to be, and that's part of removing the stigma, right? The more people come out and talk about it, the more people will feel comfortable coming out and talking about it, and then we can get to a real place of healing and a real place where people aren't suffering alone. You know what I mean? But there are some very good benefits to keeping that quiet. I can admit that. You don't want people to look at you differently. You don't want to be looked at as crazy. You certainly don't want to destroy the mask that we wear as people in front of the television. We're supposed to just, everything's supposed to be life is rosy and life is great. And that's not necessarily the case in most cases. Most of the people that I know, yeah, it's a facade, and the whole thing is a facade. I mean, let's just keep it 100. That's what we do. We're in the business of facade. We're in the business of fantasy, right? And when we start to peel back those layers and show our true selves, sometimes people come with us, and sometimes people say, and you run that risk. So I do understand. However, I think there's a much bigger thing at stake. And if, you can judge me if you want to, but you don't have a heaven or hell to put me in, so I'm not really worried about it. What
everyone
I
has
want
their
to do,
opinions.
yeah,
Like, everyone has opinions, like they have buttholes. Most people have them, but most of them stink. Everyone has one, but most of them stink. It's
there you
like,
go.
but I disagree. I think that transparency makes people, like, I am an open book on here, and I'm a licensed therapist, and I say I have anxiety and PTSD, and I'm not afraid to say I have a therapist and things. But my clients are not afraid to come to me. Like, they actually are relieved that not only do I not pretend that I don't have something, I'm more relatable as well. I know about it personally as well as through study, 10 and a half years of college. And I don't have anything to be ashamed of. I am who I am today because, and in spite, not because, in spite of, but because of my challenges of loss and what I've gone through and what challenges I have, and still persevering, still surviving, still going through this. Like, victim role does not exist in my mentality ever. And I think that's what people are empowered by.
Sure.
Like, you're doing this mental health movie. Nobody's gonna look at you because you've lost someone and you had a hard time getting through it, or that you have some anxiety about how it's going to turn out, or any of that. That's pretty natural for anyone, especially entrepreneurs, taking a risk on challenges that you're going to persevere, and it's a big deal, and you're working really hard, putting your heart and soul into, for instance, this movie that's upcoming. You have a lot of support behind you. And so what if you have some hurdles to get through? Who doesn't? Emotionally, mentally exhausting, fear, doubt. We all have that, especially, you know what I mean?
Doing film, that's going to happen no matter what film you do. If you're going to be honest about it, anybody that's been on a film set understands the tremendous amount of pressure that people face every day on a film set. It's not easy. You know what I mean? Fortunately, it never sent me into a depression. I will say that just being in the business and the navigation of the business is always problematic. But the actual doing of it, there's a lot of stress involved. And like I said, anybody that says that there isn't, they're doing one or two things. They're either not who they say they are higher up in the situation, or they're lying to you, because everyone
Yeah.
has a bit of
And
stress.
I want to clarify that it's time for our first break, but mental health does not mean that you're in a severe depression or severe mental illness or anything like that. Mental health could be a phase of life problem, an adjustment issue, like adjusting to something different, having a change of job and having to change and cope with those kind of things, anxiety related to those things. When I say situational, it's not chronic in lifelong. We could have, after going through a divorce or a change, things like that affect our mental health. But it doesn't always have to be clinically disturbing or disrupting our functioning, that kind of thing. But we'll get back into that in a second. Let's get to our first break, and we'll be back with King B and Moments of Clarity.
Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. We welcome your input at 866-826-1340. Tiffany will be right back after this.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Hello, my name is Lucy Lopes, and I'm a real estate agent that supports ending the stigma on mental health with Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I am also passionate about helping you buy or sell your home. With times being so difficult, I'm here to help. Contact me at lucylopes.com. That's LUCYLOPES.com. Let me assist you through this pandemic and know that you are not alone.
If you're a show host, gamer, live streamer, podcast host, or radio show host that would like your message to get out and reach up to 30 platforms, then there's an affordable way to do that. It's called Restream. Restream makes it easy to broadcast professional live videos from your browser to multiple social platforms at once. Start your live show with guests, brand it with logos and overlays, and create an interactive experience for your audience. Learn more at Restream.io and mention Moments of Clarity for special offers.
Hi, this is Tiffany Werner, your host of Moments of Clarity. Living with a mental health disorder is not easy. If you or someone you know are struggling with this, please know it's so important to seek treatment, and I'm here to help. Please visit the website at momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com to view blog posts and resources on this site to help educate and inspire you to take action, because there's no shame in seeking help for mental health. While you're there, please take a few seconds to sign up for my email list. You'll get some extremely valuable educational and entertaining content that can be sent right to your inbox each week. Plus, you'll also get instant and free access to my guide on managing your anxiety. You can also follow me on Twitter at MOCwithTiffany and at Facebook at Tiffany Werner. And once again, the website is momentsofclaritywithtiffany.com. Thank you so much for your support and for listening to your show, because change can only come when we stand together as one.
Are you looking for a great book? If you like to root for the underdog, Joe Potosi's book is a book for you. A real American odyssey that will grab your attention with its fast-moving narrative. You won't be able to put this masterpiece down. When the Dust Settled by Joe Potosi. Go to Amazon, Barnes & Noble, or Zulin Press.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
We are back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Werner. To join in the discussion, call 866-826-1340. Now, here's Tiffany Werner.
Hello, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Werner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And today, we have a wonderful guest, inspiring, and been in several movies, produced, acted, directed, and is now taking a chance to actually make a mental health movie. And we're doing a GoFundMe raiser to help support ending the stigma on mental health with Mental the Movie. And there's a link right here, gofundme.com/mental health, Mental the Movie. I'll forward that in a little bit as well. And welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany, King B.
Hey.
Hey.
Great. You know, I wanted to speak on that, what you were just saying. And I think it's important for people to understand what mental health really is. It's the same thing as taking care of your physical health. It's the same thing as working out every day. It's the same thing as eating right. Some of those principles actually help your mental health. So, you know, you go through a cold, is not the same thing as going through COVID. You know what I mean? So there are some things that are diagnosed that are a little more stringent to deal with. And then there are some things that are simple and are easy solutions, and you can heal from it relatively quickly if you put in the work. So we have to start looking at mental health just like our physical health. And actually, to me, it's more important than our physical health in some aspects, because it's the brain, and the brain is the controlling system of everything else. So if your brain is out of whack, your whole entire self is out of whack. You'll see people spend 6-7 hours at the gym all day, but won't spend 1 hour dealing with their mental health. So I think that's very important. Everything isn't, oh, you're psycho, or you're, everything isn't that extreme. There are little moments, even throughout the day, that you can have a mental health issue, and it can be something small that you can get over relatively quickly. So, yeah, I think this is
Especially
important.
reaching out to a friend. I couldn't agree more with what you said. Well said. And I'm gonna give you a bell for that anyway, even though you almost said moment of clarity. You said moment.
Okay. Moments
Anyway,
clarity.
but
Moments clarity. Moments clarity.
I gave you the bell because I agreed exactly with what you said. I think I've said it in the past, and exactly. And there's coping skills for everyone. Reaching out to a friend, reaching out to a therapist, talking through it, or finding the right support, but taking self-care, like what you said exactly, King. Having an hour while people are at the gym and everything, but to make sure our mind's on straight. I mean, we don't want to be a few sandwiches short of a picnic or a few bricks short of a chimney at the end of the day. We want to be intact, just like our physical health, right?
Yeah.
So,
and you can catch things early, right? I'm learning, by the way. I'm still just a filmmaker. But we have some wonderful mental health professionals that help us each and every day. And I'm learning from them constantly. So I'm learning that you can stop certain things from escalating into something worse, just like you could do for your physical health if you catch it early. I think that when I was going through my situation, if I had implemented certain things, and it wasn't, to me, masked as just grief, normal grief, but if I had a chance to start working on it then it wouldn't have lasted 2 years. So sometimes you can catch things early, and especially talking to people, talking to a therapist, there's nothing wrong with that. And I'm glad to see that a lot more people are comfortable in saying they have a therapist. So that's important as well.
well, you've got a couple of therapists that are your friends. Like, I'm growing to be one myself. We're not so bad.
You guys are all right.
Yeah. Speaking of one, Dr. Catherine Jackson said, "Yes, King." That's what I'm really excited about. She's saying this from YouTube with the movie. I think it will help a lot of others and help normalize therapy / mental health and going to therapy.
That's important. And I honestly didn't know myself. This is the beauty of the whole thing with mental health, or mental the movement. There are a lot of things that I don't know. A lot of things that I didn't know that I'm learning. And so I'm able to approach it from an outsider's point of view. So I think that I'm going to be able to, well, I know that I'm going to be able to speak to normal, not normal,
I don't
but
know what normal is because whatever.
but more, what would be the terminology? People outside of the field. I get where they're coming from. You know what I mean? Civilians, if you will.
Experienced.
Yeah. Instead of coming from it from a place of an experienced mental health professional, I'm able to come at it from a place of just the average Joe. And that, I think, is going to be able to resonate with the audience, from that perspective, learning about mental health instead of, I may not know every clinical term. And that's okay, because that's not what we're here for. It's
After
here
the
to
movie,
get.
you might know more.
Uh,
After you make the movie, you might know more.
I mean, I'm learning some things. I'm learning something. Like I said, these people have become my friends over the course of this term that we've been doing this thing. We're talking every day, just about. Uh, when it comes down to people like Dr. Jackson, people like Daisha, people like Dr. Bishop, and there's another Tiffany we have in there, and others. They're becoming friends of mine. So I'm learning things just as we go along. And Dr. Cartman, who was one of the first mental health professionals that joined the team. So they're guiding me on what it is. And I just know the film language because I've been doing it so long that I can convert their perspectives and words into the language of film. But still from a perspective of the average person and not necessarily a mental health professional.
Yeah, I can see that. So, I say this all the time too. I'm a licensed mental health professional, but I'm also a client as well. And I have my own therapist, and don't see them all the time weekly, but once upon a time I did, to get to where I'm at. So a lot of therapists, I think every healthy adult should have a therapist, to be honest. And
Well,
there's no shame in that.
I've come to find out that if your therapist doesn't have a therapist, you might be in trouble. You know what I
Right.
mean? So
You
because
never know if they're healed.
if you think about it logically, it makes a lot of sense, right? Because not only are you dealing with your real world situations, but now you're taking on the burden of several other client situations. And if you actually care about what you do, some of that stuff is going to affect you as well. So it makes a lot of sense for them to be able to decompress and let their feelings out. And then they have to keep all of that stuff inside. Um, they can't reveal what you're saying to them,
We're
so now they have to keep all this stuff to
confidential.
themselves, which creates an even bigger burden for them. So I think that it's very healthy for mental health professionals to have another mental health professional that's helping them out.
hmm And we do treatment teams with other licensed therapists to bounce ideas off and that kind of stuff as well. And then also a personal therapist,
Mhm.
um, to make sure that, we're on our A game to make sure
Yeah.
that we're really helping somebody rather than not thinking every angle possible.
Yeah.
And that's important too. There's not everyone's great at their job or cares as much as others, but there's a good count of mental health therapists that do. And it's
Well,
true.
listen,
Thank you for
that's
saying
with
what you're
every
saying.
job. That's it. Now that's a moment of clarity for your self. That's with every job. You know what I mean? And I think that's why it's important that you have to find the right mental health therapist for you.
Mm-hmm. That's
Because
imperative.
there's a different level to it. I mean, everyone takes their job differently. As a filmmaker, you've seen movies that are great. You've seen movies that are not so great. Let's put it like that. And that's just with any profession. Some people take their job a little more seriously than others. I just happen to be one that kind of obsesses over getting the film made more than maybe some other people. But that's with any profession. So it's important not to go to one or even two or maybe even three mental health professionals and say, this stuff doesn't work. No, you got to find the right one for you and someone who cares and someone you vibe with.
Exactly.
Because
You
you
have to
could,
have that connection, somebody you can actually
yeah,
talk anything to, and you can
yeah.
know that you're not feeling judged. And that, exactly. Back to what you're saying about how much you put into this film, I'm just going to
Mhm.
plug this for you guys. He stayed up for 72 hours on Clubhouse and did this mental health fundraiser. I think he sometimes felt like The Walking Dead because he had slept maybe 30 minutes because it was ongoing. It was a fundraiser. We're still doing fundraising for this movie. And But 72 hours, I was actually sick with COVID, if you guys remember that from a couple of weeks ago. I had to not be on the show. Then last week I was isolated, and but then participated and tried to help, and it was fun.
Yeah,
I
I appreciate that. We
mean, I
did do.
got to know a lot of good people too.
Yeah, we have some. You know what? We have some great people. I know that for a lot of people, Clubhouse has gotten a bad rap, and some of that is due because of but because of the freedom of it, right? So you can have a room and do almost anything you want to. So I understand that a lot of people um, may not gravitate to Clubhouse as they once did, but that also is a responsibility that I have as a curator of the space, Club Raw Fusion, that I make it an actual safe space where people can be comfortable. And that includes getting good people and weeding out bad people. And as a filmmaker, as a business owner, um, those are things that I have to do anyway. So I'm pretty good at that.
Yeah, actually,
And I
you
have,
did it a few times. I witnessed it,
yeah,
and
I have a no nonsense policy for that. And you have to have that. And sometimes it makes me look at like I'm the bad guy. And that's okay.
I don't
I
think it
played
can
the
look
mafia
like that at
hitman
all.
before.
I
So,
don't think
I
that.
played a mafia hitman. Forget about it. You know what I'm talking about?
That was coming from his one movie, Roost, that's
Yeah.
airing on Amazon Prime right now. And
Go
he,
to Tubi. Go to Tubi. I love
I
Amazon
was going to
Prime,
say, what
but
is Tubi, but I didn't want to.
no, Tubi is owned by Fox, the Fox network. So the only reason why I say Tubi as opposed to Amazon, I mean, if you have a Prime membership, it's included for free, and they don't run commercials, and so the pay is minuscule. So if you go to Tubi and you want to take a break and get a pop or something, something to eat with a commercial, you can watch Roost, and I'll get paid more. So go to Tubi.
Well,
I like it, Tubi.
I just happen to have watched it on Amazon Prime because
No,
I
it's good.
kept the
Just
pause
watch it.
button.
I
It was so
mean,
good.
either
I don't
platform is
have
fine.
Tubi. But Tubi can pay us for us to plug them all they want. But yeah, definitely. If you don't have Amazon Prime, go to Tubi.
Yeah.
Because yes, we want to support you getting paid more for that. But it's an honor to have your movie on Amazon Prime too. So
Yeah, it is.
it
It
makes
is.
it
It's
reputable.
a huge
Incredible.
platform. It's a huge platform. Millions upon millions of subscribers, and I'm happy to be wherever it is. We have some different. That movie is actually something that I did in 2008. Actually, it's still people are still seeing it. People are still finding it. I googled it and it has one of those boxes at the top for movies. Is usually reserved for like big Hollywood films and stuff. And I'm just I'm an independent filmmaker from the city of Chicago, the South Side, and I'm just amazed sometimes that something that I did that came from nothing, came from my head, with very little money, and just some dedicated people who gave it their time and their talents, and we created something that people gravitate to. I'm thankful for it being anywhere. It's on about 10, maybe 15 platforms now.
Which is amazing.
Yeah, that's the moment of clarity.
That is. I gave you one. I'm just gonna ad lib in there whenever I feel like it is a moment of clarity. Even if you don't say the words, I'll just ring the bell anyway. Well, callers, listeners, you guys are welcome to call in and join the conversation, give some feedback, contribution, ask a question, discuss something that you've been through that can validate why mental health movie would be so important to have right now and why it's been avoided. 866-826-1340. 866-826-1340. I guess sometimes when I sing it, it catches like a corporate commercial. I don't know. Anyway, 866-826-1340. And join the conversation and any questions or anything like that. now's the time to do it. We got King B here, and with his IMDb, and director King, actor for Roost 1 through 2, 2008. King B's Intimate Friends, which was produced in 2010, and Hate Love in 2021, and been in directed 6 movies, acted in 5 of them. He's in the beginning of Roost. I know that. So not only that, you can act.
Yeah. I started out acting, actually. It's funny when people, I had a conversation with somebody. They were like, well, I can't stand when directors put themselves in their own movies. And I'm like, listen, bro, I did years of acting before I ever got behind the camera. So I love acting. And I'm not going to stop just because I become a director. I've done 5 films. And Roost Mental will be the 6th film that we do.
Yay. Well, let's pause there. We have time for a second break, and we have a caller waiting as well.
Okay.
But M. Night Shyamalan, if I'm saying it the right way, he always puts himself in cameos in some of his films. I was saying the wrong way, but there's some people that Mel Gibson and that kind of stuff. So you're not alone. Anyway, let's get here. And we'll be back with Moments of Clarity in just a moment. And King B, please stay tuned.
We will return to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner after these messages.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
If you are like most people, you worry with the financial challenges you face today. How do you protect your family from financial ruin? How will you reduce your liabilities and get out of debt sooner? And how can you deal effectively with the constant changes in your job, your career, and your business? Overcoming your financial challenges is like building a house. You must build from the ground up. You must learn how to make more money, save more money, grow your money, and protect your money. Forever Forward Financial specializes in teaching you these 4 basic money skills so you can achieve your dreams and end your worry. Call us today and schedule your complimentary, no-obligation meeting to discuss your needs and concerns. Call Scott Bigley at 727-422-7761.
Are you having trouble staying sober after you've completed rehab and need a positive environment to help you continue sobriety? At Real Recovery Sober Living, we strive in both community and environment for men in early sobriety to help support you while in early recovery. For only $750 a month, we cover everything you need when it comes to a safe, clean, and accountable environment necessary for success in sobriety. Check out our website at realrecoveryfl.com. That's realrecoveryfl.com. We have 6 locations in Tampa, St. Petersburg, Clearwater, Brandon, North Tampa, and Bradenton, because everyone deserves a quality, sober living.
Hi, this is your host, Tiffany Warner from Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I want to thank you for all your support on ending the stigma on mental health for over the past 7 years and with over 600 episodes, as well as several award nominations and placing as a finalist in 3 categories on the People's Choice Podcast Award last year. If you're listening to this on audio, please visit and subscribe to my YouTube channel at Moments of Clarity with Tiffany and enjoy viewing previous shows in case you miss any live. If you're interested in advertising and would like to promote your company, it is affordable and an effective way to get your company the attention it deserves. I also welcome potential guests as well, and all information can be found on my website at MOCwithTiffany.com. Thank you again for your continued support, as change can only come when we stand together as one.
Hi, this is Tiffany Warner, your host of Moments of Clarity. I'd like to give a shout out to musician-songwriter Don Lawson, who wrote, produced, and performed all the vocals and instruments on my Moments of Clarity theme song. Don gained his inspiration as a mental health counselor himself. He's always looking for artists to record his songs, and you can hear more of Don's music at reverbnation.com/Don Lawson. You can also check him out on Twitter at Don Lawson Music. Thank you so much, Don, for your contribution to Moments of Clarity and ending the stigma on mental health. It's awesome.
This is the Tan Talk Radio Network.
Now back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany Warner. licensed mental health counselor. To engage in the conversation, call 866-826-1340. Here's Tiffany.
Hello, and welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. My name is Tiffany Warner. I'm a licensed mental health counselor, and I'm your host. And if you're just tuning in, we're just going to recap. I have a wonderful filmmaker, person, friend, and somebody that I really believe in, that he's been doing filmmaking for so many years and is now making a film called Mental, the movie that is in the works, upcoming, to discuss and show what mental health is like. And we need more movies that kind of, not only but describe and show people what mental health really looks like. And welcome back to Moments of Clarity with Tiffany King B.
Thank you.
Straight off the streets, from Chicago Mafia to mental health.
Straight out the streets.
With your movie, Roost. While we were on break, we got a caller call in. Garish, welcome to Moments of Clarity.
Hey, how are you guys?
Doing great.
Hey, long time no talk. So I think I should call him Dr. B. So I'm gonna do Dr. B King or something like that. So
Dr. King B.
So I have a lot more years of schooling to achieve that title. I don't know about that, but okay, I appreciate it.
Well, you got the king already status, so might as well just add a doctor. Dr. Dre. Dre didn't go to school, did he? He's still doctor. Just saying.
No. But when you listen to the music, it's like a doctor. I don't know if
I get that, but you watch your films like a doctor. Just saying. I'm trying to compliment you. Go on, Gage. What is your question?
King, so let me ask you this: would you like to be in front of the camera versus being behind the camera? What are your thoughts on that? Because they've had both experiences.
Honestly, both are gratifying. When you find a script and a director that you believe in and is very good, then I have no problem just see you make me nervous with shit.
You kind of froze, so I'm trying to save the.
I see the COVID weight now that I'm looking at myself. I got to go back to the gym. When you find a director that you believe in, and a director and a script and a character, then it's really easy to just focus on your character and interacting with other actors, and it's very gratifying. The thing about directing, it encompasses so much more, but that's also gratifying as well, because you are in control of the entire vision. So I think both of them, for different reasons, I love both of them. For much of, for the 5 films, I've been doing both at the same time, which again can challenge your mental health. Excuse me, but I think both of them are great. I don't know that I like either one more than the other. I do know that in mental, I don't plan on being on camera. It may change. I'll do what's necessary for the film, but I really want the focus to be on mental health and not me. So
I understand. Thank you so much. And John, one last question, if you don't mind. When you were writing this last movie, were you thinking of the storyline first and then the title came later, or did the title come?
Which one, Mental?
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Mental, well, my titles are kind of weird. Roost is coming from the old country saying, when your chickens come home to roost, and that was because the mafia hitman is getting hit by his own organization. Hate Love, which is also available on Tubi, that you can see. Hate Love just came from me wanting to express the hate that you get for being successful in the film industry. And then I thought of it and I said, wait a minute though, a lot of people are showing me a lot of love. So I can't just say the hate part, right? So coming up with Mental, I just wanted to be simplistic with it and just say, okay, this is what we're talking about. Mental. Yeah, Mental the movie.
I think what he was asking was, did you come up with the storyline and then the title came after that, or the title came first and you creating the storyline after? Like, the idea of making a mental health movie came first, or did you come up with the storyline first?
I don't know. It just kind of all happened at the same time.
The chicken and the egg. Anyway, thank you, Girish, for calling in. I hope that answered your question. And
yeah, absolutely. Thank you again.
Thank you.
Take care. We have 5 minutes left, King, so we're gonna wrap up. And you keep freezing, so I keep putting pictures up. Sorry if you didn't like the picture. Campaign to Save Lives, Mental the Movie. You can go visit gofundme.com/mental the movie. Also, King B is on most social beef platforms as King B the Great, at King B the Great. And you can find him there. What else, King B, that I can help share where people can find you to help?
I mean, you can catch me on Clubhouse, King B the Great there. But really, and then I have we reopened the store, theindycity.com. That's where you can find this lovely little hat. I have a clothing line as well, and we just introduced. That last picture is on the site. If you click on that, you'll see some of the merchandise that we have for Mental, and we're going to have some more merchandise as well coming very soon. And the profits from that is going to the film as well. So if you just have to have something in your hand, but you want to support or something to wear, you can go there as well and get some of that. Plus, we have probably about 200 or so products on online that you can purchase. And you know, I always put my money in my films anyway, so much of that money is going to go back into film. So yeah, theindycity.com, THEINDYCITY.com.
All right. And as for the GoFundMe as well, GoFundMe.com/mental the movie. No donations too big or too small. Even $5 will help go a long way, just to support mental health and ending the stigma on mental health.
Yeah,
So,
I mean,
everyone
we've had anywhere from $5 to $450 at one time. So everything counts. So. Yeah, it does.
A fundraiser for veterans, and some people were putting $50 in for 4th of July and things like this from Troop Rewards. And somebody that was just like, "I'm so sorry," and pulls out change out of their pocket with lint on it, and was like, "This is all I have." And that was probably the most powerful donation I saw that whole day. You know, the more you can give, the better. But I mean, that was like obviously the rest that they had, and they wanted to support the cause for to help veterans. And it's just I mean, it makes you feel good to pay it forward. We're running out of time, King. So any last takeaways before I have to close the show? Because I have 2 minutes, and actually I don't have that time. We have to close the show. I appreciate you so much for what you're doing and for being here and everything. And I will support you 100% the whole way. And thanks for being on Moments of Clarity with Tiffany. I wish you the best of luck with your movie and for sharing about mental health. And when the movie comes out, we'll talk about it on the show again.
Yeah, we'll have to go down there and have a party down there when we drop the movie. So yeah. And thank you for inviting me to Moments of Clarity.
Thank you. And thanks so much for being here. You've been a wonderful guest, and as always. And everyone, take care of yourself. We'll be on tomorrow, 12 to 1 p.m. every Thursday, Friday live. And be helping someone from Nigeria, Africa, as well. So see you tomorrow. Thanks everyone for your support and for listening to the show. Please share it on your platform. Subscribe to the YouTube icon is right on this corner, I think. And be kind to yourself and a stranger. You never know what they're going through. Take care.
Moments of clarity. Don't put yourself down. Time for a change. Believe in yourself. Time to rearrange. Be your best friend. Bring hope to your day. Lose your critic. Get out of your way. Now it clicks. Moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity. Now I get it, moments of clarity. To yourself be kind, it will please your mind. Find your joy, trust in you. Put in the time, you'll see how you grow. Many kinds of love you get to define. Find self-love, your soul will align. Now it clicks, moments of clarity. Now I hear moments of clarity.